here at the Bruce County Museum and Cultural Center tonight to get a sneak peek at their new general store exhibit. It's here for a third time go around at the new part of the museum, and we're going to get the inside tour with Robin Hilborn and Barbara Ryby.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to personally welcome all of you to the opening of our general store exhibit. It is called the Bevins General Store. As many of you already know, the general store exhibit was part of the original Bruce County Museum. And due to the overwhelming demand, we have brought it back for your enjoyment. So I hope there's some very fond memories for you here tonight. There are so many people who have contributed to this exhibit, and I would like to thank our friends who built the general store. I would like these people to come forward, raise their hands, because I want each and every one of you to see these people, because they're very important people. So I'm going to start with one of the master builders. Yes, his name is Ralph Crawley. There he is. Is he back there? Ralph, we do this every exhibit opening. Wave your hand, Ralph. Well, we don't have time for that. I'm going to point them out later on, don't worry. We have Rob Campbell. There he is. Stan Young, I see Stan back there. And we have Joe Von Heyman. I think he's here tonight too. Dr. Joe. Okay, if you could just hold your applause. I was hoping you were going to, but if you could just hold it. And we'll continue on. We have our very talented exhibit and collections team. Chris will be hiding back in the corner there. Chris Irvin. Chris. His performance appraisal's finished too. He's
got a suit on too, Barb.
I know, all day he did.
Whoa.
And we have Laura Leonard and Zach Hartwell, artifact care and placement in the galleries. Come on, you can do better than that. What's wrong with you people? Jeez. Haven't seen Laura yet. And also I'd like to thank our marketing and special events staff, and that's Heather. Oh, Heather's right here. Heather Gauthier, right there. Hi. Say hi. Good. And we're not finished yet, Cherie. Please behave. And I wonder who put this on the microphone. I would also like to thank Craig Dolbier for all the high-tech stuff. Is Craig? There's Craig. Good. See, he listens to me. Thanks, Craig. Now, this exhibit was made possible through a significant donation from the Guy and Josephine Bevan Charitable Foundation, from which the store gets its name. Josephine used to donate her time in the former general store, and I hope I have not forgotten anyone. If I have, my apologies. Just thanks to everyone who has made this project such a grand success. Ladies and gentlemen, let's congratulate these people for a job well done. Speeches are short tonight because the program actually takes place in the general store. So you will meet Mr. and Mrs. Bruce in the general store, Robin Hilborn and his wife Heather Wallace. Robin is Mr. Bevan's assistant storekeeper. Now, the general store is part of a 5-year exhibition plan. So we've made some temporary exhibit changes on either side of the general store. So be patient. When we carry on with our future exhibits, we'll do those as well. So right now it's quite temporary, but we did the best we could before we started the remaining gallery renovations. So I would like to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here this evening. It means a lot to the staff and our volunteers who have worked so hard on our exhibits. And tonight, please feel free after the program downstairs to wander through the exhibits or go back and have something to eat or sip on a beverage. Now, don't eat all the food because Zach Hartwell always eats our leftovers. So, ladies and gentlemen, oh sure, pay attention to that. So let's jump in the horse-drawn buggies and go down and see our general store.
Well, I'm very surprised to see such a wonderful set of customers in the general store today. This is quite a good turnout. I'm very happy you could all join us today at the general store. I'd like to present my wife, Martha, who's come here to help us today, and young Eric, step forward, please. He's helping out today. He's saving to buy a bicycle. And anyone who'd like to contribute to the cause, he needs a bicycle desperately. Now, I'm Mr. Bruce. Now, I will have to apologize that Mr. Bevan couldn't be with us today. I had to take his place on short notice. Well, on short notice, we were quite aware that the train was going to be delivering the cloth today. So he's down at the train station picking up bolts of gingham, muslin, that's right. I don't know that much about cloth and making dresses and...
At the Southampton station.
Of course at the Southampton station, yes. If you're in the store and you, for example, would like to have a dress made, we do have a dressmaker on the premises. But there are some ladies who'd like to buy a bolt or two, take it home to the farm, and make dresses. So I think that we're about ready to begin. Inside, I can tell you that we have quite a selection of goods today. There are a few more things to be added. Of course, things are coming in all the time, so do be aware that if you don't find what you want today, there's more coming in. We'll take orders. Of course we'll take orders. Yes, Mr. Bevan would love it if I took orders. Yes. There is, we have a special demonstration. Mr. Bevan did leave a description of his store, and he recorded it on some kind of a device. And it's a glass panel, and if you push a big red button, somehow he talks to you. Oh, I don't understand that because he's at the train station, but if you push the red button, he will do that. And also, there is another one of those glass panels, and apparently you can actually see all the items in the store described just by pushing on them. I don't know how that works either. But you're welcome to try out those features of our store. Was there something else I meant to say, Martha? Did I cover everything? All right. Well, with no further ado, I welcome you to the store. Please, everyone, do come in. No, once
So we're here with some of the builders of the general store, and I understand that you guys got a design, and then it was left up to you guys to somehow make that into the store, right?
That's right. Yes, it was constructed from there.
So what kind of materials went into constructing the store?
It's all, well, the same type of material would have been used at the time in the 1800s, mostly pine and primarily pine in the store. We're not into the MDF board and all that sort of thing. That's too new for us.
But you didn't have to end up using tools from the same era, right? You used some more modern equipment, right?
Yes, we did. Yeah. It wasn't hand saws too much.
But we did use some older tools.
Planes. We used a lot of planes. Yeah, we did.
So about how long did it take to create the general store then?
We started at Christmas 2012, didn't we? Just after Christmas 2012, tearing out the existing exhibit, and then coming up and starting to build. Probably in January, we got started on construction then at that time.
And so is it a labor of love then, right? You're all volunteers?
Oh, yes.
Yes, we are. Yep.
Whenever in the morning, work till whenever we want, go home at noon, go home at 4. So basically, same as I hear all day, just trying to get the last little bits put together. Help the museum staff do it. Do it a little last minute. Oh, I need a cover here. I needed this painted. I want that. So basically, that's what we did. So basically, whenever we could make it, we were here. If we had done anything, so nobody missed us. But we did come back the next day.
Well, it looks great. On the inside, it looks great too. I've been to the museum, come here. You probably see me milling around. I got to see you guys do it from the ground up, and it's an amazing job, guys.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you very much.
We got to thank the museum staff. The staff is really great to work with. They are great people. They help us, and we help them when we need it. But it's fun. It's a great place to be to do a project. So, very rewarding.
Yeah, some of the things that we needed here, you go and you get the maintenance people, or you get somebody else. Laura was great. Zach was great. I helped both of them this afternoon do some. They had their job of what they had to do, but if they wanted some help, we just took in and helped them out.
That's amazing. So it's everybody just coming together to make this as best as possible then.
Without that happening, you wouldn't see anything. This wouldn't be here. The ship wouldn't be out there.
It's a community effort, very much.
thing.
Yeah, it's not contractors. It's community that's involved.
So I worked on the ship, and then I just migrated to here. Then there'll be another one after that.
Well, we'll be excited to see what the next one is then too. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Give you a tip as to what the next one is going to be is the Imaginarium for children. They're upstairs on the. So there's always something on the horizon coming along.
Cool. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Here with Laura Leonard, curatorial assistant, and she put a lot of these neat little artifacts in the museum. Laura, what are some of the neatest things in here?
Well, there's a lot in here. There's over 300 artifacts in the store, so there's a lot to sort of remember and go over. One of the things that I like, or one of my favorite things, is a soda fountain that's sort of over there, if you want to have a look at it. This one dates from the 1890s. We're sort of guessing. We don't know a whole lot about the artifact itself, so we did a lot of research about just soda pop in general. So when we think of pop or like soda pop, we always think of, the 50s and soda jerks, but really actually pop was invented, at the end of the 1700s kind of thing. Once they actually decided to put carbon dioxide into water, so they actually made carbonated water, which was kind of mineral water, which was really popular around that time. So soda fountains actually began being produced for businesses and stuff in the 1830s, but they really didn't take off, till about the 1880s, 1890s. So original ones would have had, like pop machines will do a lot now today, right, where everything kind of has a syrup as a flavor, and then you would have had your carbonated water, and you would have had, in this case, the shopkeeper would have mixed them together for you, and you could have had one right there at the counter.
Cool. Okay, so you're saying one of the other neat ones, not too exciting, but neat where you found it, was some soup cans, was that?
Oh, marmalade jars. So they are ceramic marmalade jars, and 2 of them were actually found in the basement of the old museum. So in the 50s, while they were renovating the school and building it into the museum, they were actually found in our basement, and then were later donated.
Wow, okay. And the other one we were talking about earlier was a laundry tub or a washing machine. Is that the correct pronunciation? What is it exactly?
It is a laundry machine, I guess, or a washing machine. So the machine was made by a fellow out of Chesley. I want to say his name is James Milne. And he actually, there is a patent on it, and it's around 1890. So what he had done was actually taken all the sort of technology, laundry technology of that time, having a wringer, and kind of put everything together into one device. A lot of things were, like the wringers were tabletop mounted, and that would be a separate process, and you'd have a wash tub someplace else. So he just kind of put everything all together. So, yeah.
Cool. I know there's a lot more here to check out, and obviously people can come down and see it, right?
Anytime, yeah. It's open now, so it'll be, well, it's a new permanent exhibit, so it'll be here till the cows come home kind of thing.
Thank you, Laura.
A time and place when there was a center to life, and that center was the general store. A place
All right, so we're here with the assistant shopkeepers. This is Robin and Heather, and who are you guys playing today? Who are you?
Well, I'm Mr. Bruce, taking over from the storekeeper himself. It's my wife.
And I'm Martha Bruce, and I'm helping out my husband today.
So what was it like back in the 19th century operating a store like this then?
It was hard work. I mean, you had to work up to 7 days a week, long hours, because people would be coming all the time. There was, you would have to
Take in goods.
Taking goods, yes.
And if they give you a lot of goods, then you'd give them back medallions.
Oh, okay.
Rather than money. It was a medallion from the store that they could use to buy things.
We have tokens that we will give you if. Now, see, the whole principle is you're going to exchange, barter.
Right.
It's a beautiful system because you have a dozen eggs from the farm. Chickens are laying well. You bring them into the store, and you would like to buy 2 pounds of butter. Fair enough. If that's a fair exchange, both sides agree that a dozen eggs equals 2 pounds of butter, then we have a bargain now. But if your dozen eggs are worth more than 2 pounds of butter,
right, I
will give you tokens, $1 and $1.50 token, say, and you take that home and you're happy because you can go back to the store and spend that token in my store only.
It's like the original Canadian Tire money.
Yes, exactly.
Before the Canadian, yeah.
That's indeed how it worked. So the barter system.
Cool. So other than that, I know I was listening to they have a presentation here of Mr. Bevan, and one of the things you guys did at one point was you were the local operator if the phones came in, right?
We weren't aware of that.
Oh, no way.
Really?
Well,
Martha, I can tell you about that.
Oh,
yes,
good.
because
I'd like to know.
when the first telephones arrived, the general store was the perfect place to put an exchange, and you might have 2 or 4 telephones, as many as that, all connected together, and you could talk to, imagine this, you could talk to a farmer down on concession 2.
And he knew his ring. Sometimes it's
yes.
1 ring, sometimes it's 2 rings.
Well, if the phone rings, what actually happens is everyone picks it up to see if it's for them.
Yep.
And then they listen in too.
And if it's not, they listen anyway.
Yeah. That's great though, because it was a community place where people would come in and play checkers. The men would sit around and talk. So, community center.
We do. We have a checkerboard right over there sitting on the barrel. We have a nice hot stove over here in the corner if you want to gather around in the wintertime. It's a perfect spot.
People come in and chat, which is nice.
And don't forget the post office.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because what better place to put the general store if you're going to be shopping on a given day of the week? Pick up your mail at the post office, or mail a letter to Granny back home. There you go.
I'll have to tell you where I grew up in a small town. It didn't change much because we still had a general store. It was a town of 500 people, and it was still the post office too. And this was in 1995, so nothing too much changed other than they weren't the local operator for the telephone service.
But they did a lot of things in the community.
Yep.
They were the community center.
Yep.
And where was that?
Greenbank, Ontario, and it actually was in the center of the small little hamlets too.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, a church right across the street. So it felt like we were back in the old days. So you guys would do a lot of bartering as well too. Anything else interesting or different from what would be like today? Obviously, you can't take debit and credit
The
cards.
idea that there's such a wide array of products. I mean, you've got tonics, you've got coffee grinders, you've got jars for doing canning. There's so many things. What other store carries all that? I think that's the unique part. There was
The general store just carries much of
apples,
everything. The
twine.
gasoline is stored outside with the oils and the fluid for the lanterns.
Just so many things. I mean, you get your foodstuffs here, you get your cloth here, thread, needles, almost anything you can imagine. You can buy at the general store, which is so handy, really. Yeah.
It's often the first store that's going to open up. In fact, it forms the nucleus of a town. General store sets up at a crossroads somewhere, and pretty soon there's a church across the street and a school, and people start to gather around that general store.
Well, thank you very much for portraying your characters and bringing us back to a little bit of life about 100, 150 years ago.
Well, you're very welcome.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Come shop again sometime.
Yeah.
We will. And make sure you come down to the Bruce County Museum and Cultural Center and check out the new general store exhibit, along with all the other exhibits they have here at the store. They always have things going on. Check their website at brucemuseum.ca.